Welcome to My Mom Calls It Soccer. I'm Michelle.
I'm Chase. I call it football.
And today we are in the car because we are headed to do a special episode on location at Springfield Brewing Company here in Springfield, Missouri. We are going to do a watch along with some of our matchup participants, and then we'll do a little update. We're also going to have a special interview with Nick, who is of Nick and Emily, who give us our updates on Man City and St. Louis City. And Nick was able to go to Fan Fest for the Premier League in Kansas City a few weeks ago. He's going to tell us all about that. And we're going to talk about how in the world he ended up being a Manchester United fan, and then also get an update on all of our matchup participants and how their teams are doing. We'll see you for this episode in just a bit. Hello and welcome to a special segment of My Mom Calls It Soccer. We are watching El Clásico together with a group of our matchup participants. It's halftime. It's halftime, and Real Madrid is up 2-1. But we'll see what happens in the second half. But at halftime, with some of our matchup people here, we wanted to take some questions from them as we're all trying to learn the game together. So, who has a question?
I have a question.
Okay.
So the first goal of the game was taken back, and I understand it was because of offsides. Can you please explain offsides?
Nick, our guest here, Nick, is going to answer that as a longtime soccer person.
Yeah, and former referee. Offside is when the ball is played by the attacking team, the attacker cannot be behind the second to last defender. Okay, so the second to last defender is typically your outside back, center back, whatever, but not necessarily, because the goalkeeper counts as a defender in that scenario. There are instances where a goalkeeper could be further up the pitch, or it would be your last two defenders, but it's the second to last defender that marks that point. So wherever a playable portion of that defender's body is the offside line. It moves with the team as the team moves. The ball has to be played before an attacker is past that line. If the ball is played after an attacker has passed that line, then it's offside.
And so what happened here was it was called a goal, and then they did a VAR review. So do you want to tell them what is VAR?
VAR is a video assistant referee, similar to baseball, American football. There's a review booth where there are professional referees that are examining the plays. They have different camera angles. They really can dive in and look at it, whereas in the real-time referee has a bit more limited ability. Obviously, he can only see what he saw when he makes his initial decision. If they believe that there was an error in his decision, usually clear and obvious is the threshold, then they will send it to him for a field review, and he has a little monitor on the side of the pitch where they will say, they'll explain what they saw, what they think his error may have been, or her error may have been, and then they will play the camera angles that they believe might change his mind or her mind, and allow them to make that decision on the field.
In my limited experience of trying to learn this sport, the best thing you can do to learn offsides is to just watch a lot of games and see when they call it. And Nick had said when we were watching, when they show that VAR view, when they show the outline or whatever, and you can see, that helps a lot to understand it. It's all that matters, Brad. It's tiny. It's just a tiny thing. Anyone have another question? All right.
On extra time, how come they don't put the amount of time on the clock so we can tell how much time we have left?
Nick, do you want to answer that?
So it depends. In the stadium, a lot of times they don't necessarily put it on the screen because at the end of the day, added time is at the referee's discretion. The fourth official recommends an amount, so whenever they hold up the video board that says, plus, in this case, +6, that's the fourth official saying, based on the stoppages in the game, I recommend you add 6 minutes of time. That said, the referee in the center is ultimately the one who makes the decision.
And they can allow like more time, like if it goes past the 6-minute mark, if there were like some extra fouls, stuff like that, they can allow like one more play for the offensive team.
Yeah, you know, the referee typically allows whatever phase of play is going on to finish. So, yeah, exactly. You know, if Real Madrid had been attacking at the last minute and, you know, it hits the 51st minute, that 6-minute mark, he's not going to immediately call it if they're about to score a goal. He's going to let that phase of play finish, and then after that, blow the whistle.
Okay, that's excellent. Anyone have another question?
I have another question.
Okay.
It's about the jerseys.
Okay.
So Ed Sheeran's new album is on the jerseys, and in American sports, you have your team's names on the jerseys, but these, as you can see on Nick's, is a sponsor.
In soccer, football, they have the sponsor logo on their jersey. Chase, do you want to talk about El Clásico and why they do a musical artist?
So since it's the sponsor is Spotify, they do like a special thing every El Clásico, since almost everyone in the world's watching it. They will do a little album or an artist pick for their thing. It can help get more listeners for that artist. It can help get more people on Spotify. It also helps with jersey sales because they're unique jerseys.
Specific and new.
You can also
something else your mom has to buy.
Yes, you can also get other merchandise from the stuff, like the Travis Scott jerseys. Also had like sweatshirts, pants, even like a throwback 2001 jersey. It's all around just like a great money move and a great. It's great for both sides, basically.
It's great for Spotify and it's great for Barcelona.
Yes.
So.
Well, and even the artist fans.
Yes.
Yeah, because it gets them recognition.
An interest in soccer as well.
Excellent point. Excellent point. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay.
How do you feel about Harry Kane?
So Brad is our matchup participant who so far has been winning. Right? You want to come on stage with us here, Brad? Come here. Here, come here. Come over here. Okay. Here, show off your Harry Kane jersey. Wait, turn around first. Harry Kane jersey. Okay. All right. So Brad's team is
Bayern, yeah.
Bayern Munich.
I say Bayern.
Bayern Munich. And Brad has been in since we paired him. They are having an amazing season.
Haven't lost.
Harry Kane is having an amazing season.
Best player in the field.
So Brad is 100% in. Ordered a jersey, doing all the things. So our hope is to get everyone else to this level too. So Rita, who is here with us, and Josh, who is not, are both Arsenal fans. And we are really trying to get them, because Arsenal's at the top of the Premier League. Okay. They are not undefeated, but they are at the top of their league, as Bayern Munich is at the top of Bundesliga.
Right. We're at the top.
Crushing it.
We're crushing it.
Okay. Anybody have a question for Brad? Any other questions?
Well, I was kind of asking Chase. To me, as a beginner watcher of this, I feel like the most pressure is on the goalie.
Chase.
What's your opinion on that?
Chase and Nick both probably have a opinion on that.
I feel like there's pressure for every person in the position, and I think the pressure can change based on a game. So I think there can be more pressure on defenders if you're trying to sit back more. I think there can be more pressure on strikers if you need a goal. But there can also be a ton of pressure on goalkeepers because they play an entirely different sport from all the outfield players. I said, goalkeepers usually are the ones who have a screw loose in their head. They're kind of the crazy ones. They're always going to the ground, getting dirty. A lot of pressure is definitely on them, especially on penalties, one-on-one situations, knowing how to deal with that. I think the position that has the biggest pressure out of everyone might be the fullbacks. You have to be good on defense, you have to be strong on offense, you have to be able to dribble past your man, send in a cross, but also be able to defend your man. You have to run a lot. So there are times where you have to invert in the field or overlap, and then you'd have to run back. Sometimes the whole goal could be your fault, and a lot of pressure's on you.
Nick, what about you? What do you think?
I think it depends on the team. I would say historically the goalkeeper position is one that takes a lot of mental fortitude, and I say that because historically, as Chase kind of alluded to, the goalkeeper has been a bit more removed from the regular play of the game. So they have to be able to kind of turn on at a moment's notice. You know, they might not touch the ball for 15 minutes, 20 minutes if their team is kind of on the front foot, they've got a higher line, but then, you know, opposing team gets a fast break, they have to, the goalkeeper has to be on all the time in a way that outfield players don't necessarily have to be. So I think that there is that added pressure from that perspective. That said, in the modern game, really the last 10, 15 years, you've had goalkeepers become a lot more involved in the regular passage of play.
Playing out the back, yeah.
Exactly, playing out of the back. You know, sweeper keepers. Manuel Neuer, Bayern Munich. Kind of, he was kind of the, I would say the epitome of that, and really got that ball rolling across the sport. And now, for many, you know, high-level teams, having a goalkeeper who is as good with his feet as a regular field player is pretty essential to the way they play.
Okay, we're going to watch the second half, see what happens, see if Grandma's Real Madrid team can hold out over Chase's Barcelona.
Probably will.
We'll see what happens. All right, we'll be back later. We are at Springfield Brewing Company in Springfield, Missouri today doing a special remote during the El Clásico game between Real Madrid and Barcelona. We've got Nick Andrews with us today, and Nick is a longtime player and fan of the sport, so we've asked him to come here and kind of share his background. He is a Man United fan, so we're going to ask him about that. And then he also went to the Premier League, what was it called?
FanFest
in Kansas City, which we were very jealous that we were not there, so we want to hear a recap of Nick from that. And then talk about also St. Louis City. He is a St. Louis City season ticket holder. And talk a little bit about kind of the compare and contrast between Major League Soccer here in the States versus Premier League Soccer and all the fun things. So welcome, Nick. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your history with soccer, football. What do you call it? Do you call it soccer?
Football.
You call
most
it football.
Of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I apologize all the time. I make people angry, but it's super confusing for me. So
all
sorry.
Good. All good. No, I grew up playing the game. I started playing at, you know, probably the age of 3, like I think many do. But I stuck with it and played all throughout high school. I started refereeing at the start of high school and refereed up until college. I played recreationally in college. Okay. I didn't play collegiately or anything like that, but have always been a fan from the player's perspective. And then about 15 years ago or so, I started watching more frequently and really got into the game, you know, from a fan's perspective.
Sure. Why Manchester United? How did you connect with them?
I don't even really know.
They're really big in America. So.
Yeah. You know, I'll say that whenever I started really following the game as a fan, you know, it was back in the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, so Manchester United were significantly better, I would say, than we are now, and have been for the last decade or so. At that time, really the two biggest teams in the world were Manchester United and Barcelona. You know, that was when I started watching the game in earnest, was, you know, around the time of 09, 10, 11, really 2011 probably was the
height of it.
Getting
involved.
And at that point, you know, the Champions League final that year was Barcelona versus Manchester United.
Okay,
and
all right.
Ultimately, Barcelona won that game.
It was pretty embarrassing. Well, I've seen it. It's sad, but
yes, you were born in 09. So.
I was born in 09.
I've aged myself a little bit.
I watched it, you know. But.
You know, that was Pep Guardiola. He was the Barcelona coach at the time. That was Messi was on the 4th year of his 4-year streak of winning the Ballon d'Or. He was the best player in the world. It was two teams that were kind of at the height of their power, and watching those teams is what really got me into the game.
That's awesome. Okay, so tell us now, you went to FanFest a couple of weeks ago in Kansas City. What was that like?
It was great. We had a fantastic experience. I was able to go with two of my longtime friends and teammates from my high school team.
Awesome.
So two of us live in St. Louis, one lives in Springfield, and we met up in Kansas City and got to attend together, which was a lot of fun. One of them is an Everton fan and one of them is a Chelsea fan. So as a Manchester United fan, we played Chelsea that Saturday. So we had a little bit of a friendly rivalry going, which was a lot of fun. But it was an early morning. I think we woke up at 4 or so and got in line to get in at 4:45-ish.
So were you there? I watched that morning.
Yep.
So Liverpool was the first game that morning.
Yep. Merseyside derby.
Okay,
Yep.
so you were there the entirety of it. Okay.
We were there all day.
Okay.
We got in. They opened the gates at 5.
Okay.
So we were in the main area. It was at Premier.
Was it Union Station?
No,
Or-
it was at KC Live there at Power and Light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they opened the gates at 5. We were there in sort of the main area for the Merseyside derby because again, my friend is an Everton fan. Yep. So for those that don't know, Merseyside derby is Everton, Liverpool.
They used to, because if I'm correct, Everton used to also play at Anfield.
Yeah,
or like
very early on,
originally,
yes.
And then there was a split, so it's a huge rivalry.
Yeah. Huge rivalry. Their stadiums, I mean, they're both still in Liverpool. Their stadiums have been, a mile and a half apart for 100 years now. So
Yeah, it's wild.
Big rivalry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit about St. Louis City. So you guys live in St. Louis. You are season ticket holders there.
Yep.
What's the experience been like? Tell us about the stadium. Tell us the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's one of the best fan experiences in the MLS. The stadium was built soccer specific in they were supposed to start in early 2020 with the pandemic. They delayed it by a year, so it started in 2021, which also delayed our entrance into the league by a year. So our first season was supposed to be 2022. It ended up being 2023. I love the team. I've really connected with the team. The stadium, like I said, was purpose built for soccer. It seats 22,500 people, and the way it was built, it was modeled after a lot of the European stadiums in that it was designed to hold in the fan noise. The fan section for the supporters group, it's standing room only. It's at the highest grade that you can that is allowed by building code. To really, kind of give the impression, they modeled it after Dortmund's yellow wall. For context. So it's designed to, keep the fans engaged, keep the noise in the stadium, encourage flag waving and the drum corps and all of that. So it's a great game day experience. I hope you guys get to come up and experience it at some point.
We really want to come up and do that. We did get to go to that stadium. We watched
USA versus Guatemala.
Yes.
It's very loud, too.
Yes. So mainly Guatemala fans, which we really enjoyed. But it was a great atmosphere, and we, in terms of just traveling within the stadium, getting to things, the setup, the layout of it, I thought was very fan friendly.
Yes, one thing that they've done really well throughout the entire process is try to keep fans at the center of the experience. They have a chief experience officer who is a St. Louis native, I believe, and has really tried to emphasize the local aspect of the stadium. And for context, all of the food options throughout the stadium are local restaurants. So they've got, I think, 30 some different local restaurant partners
that are all there instead of chain type restaurants.
Or just generic burger, fries, chicken strips. I mean, you can get hand pies. You can get a Korean burrito. You can get an authentic kebab. There's all of these different offerings, all from local restaurants, and I think that really kind of helps integrate the local aspect
Sure.
of it and keep fans engaged.
Sure. That's awesome. That is awesome. So you were talking about rivalry and going up with your friend who is a Chelsea fan,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
rivalry. You have a new rivalry in your life because your girlfriend, you guys are both, you and Emily, who have done some updates for us on the podcast, are both Man United fans.
Correct.
And Emily's mother, who is one of our matchup participants, has matched with Liverpool.
Unfortunately.
So when you heard the news, what'd you say?
You know, I'm glad that she's connecting with the game and with the sport. We don't always choose what teams we're fans of. Sometimes the teams choose us.
That is true.
Like you
Like-
don't always get to choose your family.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So,
You know, and I'm glad that Carol is connected with the game in such a way. Unfortunately, we did have to go beat Liverpool recently, and so that I think that was a good introduction into the rivalry for her.
yes, and I really, because Liverpool is my Premier League team, I really have been working to get her engaged, and now she's engaged, and we're playing terrible. So we're testing her fandom right off the bat. We're
It's a real good welcome to football moment.
Yes,
you know?
It is.
Yes,
It is.
Yes, exactly. So, well, good. Well, I think selfishly that's going to give us a lot of content going forward between the two of you getting to play and
Absolutely.
jockeying for position in the standings. And
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be in contention for the same spot on the table, but
it's
You
looking
guys are
that
right.
way.
I think you guys are neck and neck. Yeah.
You're coming up and
Yeah.
we're going down. So it's the way it's going. All right, back to you. Got a question?
Well, back to St. Louis. I'm not really familiar with the St. Louis team, but I wondered if you had a favorite player.
oh, that's tough. I have a very bad history of picking favorite players who then go on to leave the team controversially or things like that. This is actually a Paul Pogba kit.
Oh.
I've strayed away from getting any player-specific kits and really picking favorite players because they always seem to disappear. So that said,
Is that because you pick really good players and so then they have options to go other places?
And since St. Louis isn't playing well, then
I would say yes and no. Some of them have been because they were good players who went on to play elsewhere, but some of them have also just been controversial endings,
Okay.
disagreements between player and coach or
Okay.
player and team, things like that. Marcus Rashford and
Yes.
Manchester United, for example. It doesn't always end. The relationships don't always end the way you would like.
Yes.
For one reason or another. So.
well, for a thing with Marcus Rashford, he still loves Man United.
Yes, he
And
does. He does.
It's still his boyhood club.
Absolutely.
It just kind of fell out.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he is succeeding in Barcelona. I think
Yeah.
he's a great player, and he's a local boy, as you said.
He is.
He's always going to hold, I think, a special place in the hearts of Manchester United fans. He had some amazing moments with the club. I think for both parties, it was probably time to move on.
Yeah.
And I think he's showing the kind of player that he is at Barcelona, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, because Ruben Amorim even said he'd rather start the goalkeeping coach over Rashford one time. It's just time to leave.
Yeah. Sometimes, the player doesn't fit the system or doesn't mesh with the manager, and, that's, at the end of the day, the club has to come first, and players and managers both come and go. The club, you got to do what's best for the club.
And Rashford wants to start. He doesn't want to be benched,
Yep.
So.
Okay, so sorry, we Chase and I both took you way off target there.
All
Favorite
good.
player in St. Louis?
Yeah, I'll go with Roman Berkey.
Okay.
He's our goalkeeper. He's our captain. He is a former Dortmund player, so he played.
Okay.
He was Dortmund's goalkeeper for 7 seasons, I believe. Left Dortmund during the pandemic and joined St. Louis City as our I would say our first marquee signing,
Okay.
and has been probably our standout player of the last 3 seasons. He won Goalkeeper of the Year award in MLS in 2023.
Okay.
And has really cemented himself as an early club legend, I would say,
Okay.
amongst fans. So I'll go with Roman Berkey.
Okay. Very good. All right. Anything else? Anything you want to ask, Nick?
How's your feeling with the rivalry with St. Louis City and Sporting KC?
Oh yeah. I am not a Sporting Kansas City fan. I'll put it that way.
Is it a tougher rivalry or?
I think it is it's obviously a young rivalry. You know, we've only been in the league for 3 seasons, but
You'll need some more controversies. Yeah.
there fortunately early on there were some things that really kind of added gasoline to the fire, if you will. There was a fan podcast, a St. Louis City fan podcast, that the Sporting Kansas City leadership sent a cease and desist letter to, and that caused a lot of controversy. And there have been, some player spats and things like that. So it's a young fledgling rivalry, but I think it's pretty intense.
But it's intense.
Yeah.
It's starting off
Is it one
hot.
of those rivalries where form goes out the window when it happens?
Absolutely, yeah. Across all 3 seasons, at any given point, anyone could win. It's a lot in a lot of ways. It's like the Manchester Derby.
Yeah.
Over the past 7-8 years, Manchester United has historically overperformed our league placement against Manchester City. We've beat them a number of times.
In the FA Cup final.
FA Cup final being one of them. When form would suggest we probably should have lost those games. I would say that's pretty similar for Sporting KC.
I'd say also Merseyside Derby as well, because it's like Everton versus Liverpool. Doesn't matter how good both teams are.
Yeah. It's the players. It's a job for them, but I think the players really do feed off the fan energy, and they kind of take some of that. And put it on the field, and you'll see a lot of times those games end up, to your point, form goes out the window.
Yeah.
So since you brought up Man City, I want to ask, because one of our matchup participants who's here is Aston Villa fan.
Yep.
And Aston Villa beat Man City today.
Yes, they
did. Did either of you guys get to see any of that game, or have any updates on that game, or know what happened?
Well, I do know Matty Cash scored their right back. That's his 2nd goal for this season.
Okay.
He's actually been playing pretty well recently for Aston Villa. Obviously, that long ball he gave to Dean against Tottenham was really good. He's not like a standout player for them, but he's really hit for him.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Also, just since we have Nick here, we might as well keep him and talk a little bit. We have 2 participants who are Arsenal fans. An Arsenal won today as well, right? So anybody know anything about that, or anything you want to say about that? They just are looking really good.
Consistent.
Like.
Yeah. I think I believe the goal was scored by Eberechi Eze.
Yes, against his former team.
Against his former team, Crystal Palace. So a little bit of a reunion goal there. I would say it's pretty common for players to score against their former clubs. I don't know what it is, if it's a mentality thing.
Always turn up, yeah.
But they always tend to turn up. I was joking with Emily yesterday before the Manchester United game that Danny Welbeck has our number. He was a Manchester United player from the academy, started out his professional career there, and I think he's scored on us 3 or 4 times in the last 5 or 6 games we played against him. So it's
Yeah, it just happens.
It's something that happens.
It happened. Ekitike scored against Frankfurt in the Champions League game.
It could be like the team's system. You're well-knowledged on it. Maybe you know
also,
how to
you
exploit
probably
it.
just really want to do well against your former team.
That
so
you still respect the club.
Tonight with Aaron Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, in NFL, yes. Yeah. Do you have any feelings about Brad's team in the matchup? Since they're not Premier League, do you care? Or are you just like, I don't care either way? Or are you like, I don't care unless I have to face you in the Champions League, which you guys aren't in this year.
That was unnecessary.
That was
but
me thinking
that was
on
good.
the fly.
Yeah.
I'm still
She's a
new to
Liverpool
this whole
fan, it
thing.
makes sense.
I know. Got to get that little dig in. I love it. No, I try to keep track of all the major leagues. I can't say that I watch every game in every league.
Sure.
There's not enough
too
hours in
much.
the day. Yeah. But Bayern have had a fantastic start to the season. Unbeaten. I believe right now, I saw a statistic yesterday that they're tied with one of the great AC Milan teams for the best start to any given season. In terms of number of consecutive games won and goals scored, goals conceded. They're having a pretty legendary start to the season.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's
Good
been
for them.
pretty amazing. Pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Okay, and we just finished watching the Real Madrid versus Barcelona game. We have a Real Madrid fan here. We have a Barca fan here. Nick, any thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good game. I think Barcelona's injury problems probably kind of hampered them a little bit. Real Madrid did a good job of keeping Lamine Yamal pretty much
Away
out
from
of the
the ball,
game.
yeah.
I mean, he was pretty much a non-factor for most of the game, which was probably essential to their game
They
plan.
have that one pass to Koundé, but then,
Yeah, that was a beautiful ball over
It
the
was.
top. Koundé, I don't know why he took it with his chest. He probably should have taken it with the head.
Could have,
but, yeah.
I thought Real Madrid played really good off the ball. An off-the-ball system where you go on a counterattack, you exploit the high line. They defended with their lives out there. They were really good. Our final balls were getting cut off every time. So I thought it was a really strong performance from Madrid.
Grandma, how did you feel about Jude Bellingham?
You happy now? He got a goal and assist.
He did. I know. I saw it.
Just to refresh, Grandma's not been real big on Jude Bellingham.
I just didn't feel like he was game ready when they put him in that game, which they eventually lost.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And so, but he has certainly improved.
He is now
and
game
he's
ready.
looking improved. Yes, he is.
I mean, you
Absolutely.
can't control not getting started. You know, I think everyone
Right.
wants to start a game, especially in a big one. But maybe blame the coach. But he won you the game this time, so.
Yeah. So anyway, again, we are here at Springfield Brewing Company in Springfield, Missouri, and they are opening a new soccer pub, football pub called Mumbles 1888, hopefully opening by the end of this year. And we are going to be doing some broadcasts and some special things with them. So stay tuned to see that, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.